YouTube's happening. It is Monday, June 23rd, and welcome to like the easiest day of the past like super few months. There's like nothing going on today. You got some Wimbledon qualifiers and you got 9 games in baseball. That's it. There's nothing else going on in sports today. So we have 9 games. We're going to break them down. They're going to be a focus at everybody because there's nothing else to watch. So we're going to look at the spreadsheet. We're going to look at the props, see if we can find some value out there. Look at yesterday, all the fun stuff we always do. So breaking down yesterday's plays, Warren hit the strikeouts. Benintendi did not get a hit. Surprisingly, that's what the White Sox did well and everything. Didn't get a hit. You can see the rest of the plays here. Over Chicago, Seattle hit nicely. Arizona, we did the video, put the play in, and then they decided to give half the team PTO yesterday. Can't do nothing about that. Once you're locked in, you're pretty much locked in on most of these books. So especially when the lines move, because, I don't know, it's two of your star players aren't playing. Yeah, Colorado got the win in that one because of it. Makes sense, whatever. You have shenanigans like that you can't mess with. So Boston, San Fran didn't hit. Houston did. Bohm did not. It was one of those days. It was slightly red. We're going to have slightly red days. It's good. You're not going to have super red days. Hopefully. But usually it's either slightly green, really green, or slightly red. That's how it is around here. So we'll take that, whatever. It's part of the game. So if you want the plays typed out for every single sport I do, or you want access to the spreadsheets, which are now on a fancy little web app I made. I made a website fully for them. You got to be a Plus member in the Patreon to get them, though. Only for those members at all. So you can have the spreadsheets. You can click around. It's good stuff. I'll show you eventually. I can get into it. So go check out the HQ. Simple as that. So enough of that. We have 9 games. Let's stop wasting time. Let's get to the first one right now. All right, before we start, we got to look at the weather like we always do, because there's only 9 games, but guess what? There's still weather out there no matter what. So we got to take a little peek ski, and we're going to pull this up. We got Baltimore, nothing. No rain, no wind, no nothing. Mets, no rain, a little bit of wind blowing out at 9. Cincy, no rain, no wind, no nothing. Milwaukee, inside. Minnesota, nothing, and 8 miles an hour blowing out. Rado, 19 blowing to, well, it's blowing the left field pole. It might be swirling. It's 92 degrees. We'll see what happens. Game. Oh, this is in Chicago. I'm thinking, I saw Arizona, thought when I immediately thought Coors Field. No, you go from Denver to straight to White Sox, where it's windy there too, but no rain. Arizona Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals. I'm thinking football all of a sudden. Just because NBA ended, my mind went right to football. Pretend we still college. It's okay. It'll be here soon. So, yeah, no rain, 6 miles an hour for Cubs. Cardinals, nice little rivalry game. Good stuff. Angels, Red Sox, nothing here. A little bit of wind with no rain. So I would say wind's not really a factor, except for maybe for the White Sox Arizona game, because that 19 miles an hour. Everything else I think is pretty chill. So let's go to the first one. We're going to have Texas and Baltimore. Baltimore is a slight favorite at 130 with a 9.5 total. We head over to our spreadsheet and we can see our numbers and we see what they've been up to. Both teams have lost their last game. Texas is somewhat okay at some things. They're 15th, 12th, 17th in runs, 20th in RBIs. Baltimore's about the same. So there's really no difference, except Baltimore is not walking as much like Texas is. They're striking out a ton. Texas is not. So it's the small things that Texas is doing well that Baltimore seems to struggle with lately. So I would still give no lean in this one. Let's pop over to the actual pitchers to see who's going to be in this one. Trevor Rogers versus Patrick Corbin. Now this is Outlier. Link in the pinned comment. Click it, sign. Get you a week for free. You're here now. NBA's over, NHL's over. You want to bet? I know some of you are new, and you're like, guess what? I don't know nothing about baseball, but I'm going to do it. It worked well for the other sports. That's what we all do here. So we're all figuring out, and we use Outlier and other sources to get our information. So here we go. We got walks, earned runs, all your basics. So if you're new to baseball and betting and you have questions, put them in the comments. If I don't answer it, somebody will answer you, because there's some awesome people here that will help. We all try to help each other win here. So just put your questions down there. Don't be ashamed. There ain't no such thing as a dumb question. I get asked what's HRR like every other video. Hits, runs, RBIs. And guess what? People are new. They don't know this. I want to help you get better. So no such thing as a stupid question. So anywho, moving on. Patrick Corbin was terrible last season with Washington. He has been fairly pretty decent. Didn't he have a good game last time too? Let's just open up both pitchers and look at their earned runs, because we want to see how they've been doing. 4 for him. I mean, that's not bad. That's a 2.8. He's under 3. That, for me, that's not bad. I take that. That's good stuff in the last 5 games. We look at Trevor Rogers' last 3 games with his earned runs, and he is, well, he's 2.6. And you see he's a little more boom or bust. Yeah, he's 0 against Boston, pretty good. Tampa, New York, Washington, yeah. So again, no lean. Let's look at the matchups. Trevor Rogers versus Texas, historically since 2018. That's far back as these stats go for Outlier. You can see who's done what. Simeon's got a 429 at 7 at bats. Nothing to really show for it, though. Garcia, 3 for 6. There's nothing here. See, there's nothing. There's not enough data in our at-bat column. We need at least 8, 9, 10 double-digit at-bats to really have some information we can really use. 7 is not enough. Sorry, it's just not. So I consider this as good as somebody going like 2 for 7. It's like, we don't know. That's not even 2 full games. So lefties versus Texas, there's your stats. This is something you can use. Here's your stats. When you see somebody who is just like, who's somebody bad, like Corsiger is 56 bat. He had a $179 against lefties. He sucks against lefties. That's what you say. That's simple. That means you suck. Clear as day against lefties. You use stuff like that. Baltimore versus lefties. There you go. There's that. And then Patrick Corbin versus Baltimore. Historically, the lefties righties are just 20-25, as you see, but you can see the numbers here. Nothing stands out. So for this one, we kind of use this as an explanation game for those who are new, because I know there's new people showing up. Appreciate you being here. And again, there's nothing in this one. Now, in baseball, we don't force our plays. There are so many. There's 162 games for every single team. That is 1,000+ games in a season. We don't bet them all. We pick our spots. This is a spot where there's no advantages, nothing standing out. So what we're going to do, we're going to pass and move on to the next one, because sometimes the best play is no play. Next. All right, let's rock on to game 2. Game 2 is going to be Atlanta and the Mets. And currently it is Atlanta 135 on the road with that 8.5 total out there. We look over at our sheet and we see the Mets offense in the last 10 has been struggling. They had a bright spot on Saturday night versus Philadelphia. Last night? No, not so much. They got shut down again. So Atlanta has been doing well. They're top 10 in run score. They're top 10 in on base percent, which is because they're 5th in walks. They're getting on base. That's what you want to do. You get on base, you have a chance to score. Simple stuff. You're 10th in driving in runs. That's why it adds up. See, all the numbers are good. Atlanta's offense is above average, I would say. New York is, well, I would say below average to almost bad. Like their slugging is the worst in the league. There's only 30 teams. That's the worst. They're terrible at doubles. You see all the stats. Yeah. Clear advantage goes to Atlanta with the bats. Cool. Let's move on. Who's throwing the ball? Who tossing the tater out there? And today going to be, no, that's the wrong game. That's the game right there. It's going to be Spencer Schwarzenbach versus Paul Blackburn. And now we look over here in our column first is to see if there's any greens. First, we have Schwarzenbach strikeouts. Dude's been pretty nasty with some strikeouts this season. We know this. We look over, how are the Mets doing at strikeouts? We want to compare those two. And we see the Mets are red. They are in the bottom 10. Top 10 green, middle 10 yellow, bottom 10 red. That's why I do it. Trying to give you a visual, make it kind of easy. You can see good and bad with colors real quick. So yeah, they're 8.8. They're averaging 7.6 at home, but in the last 10 games, they've been worse. They've been swinging a little bit more loosely. So that's why they're 8.8. So we could potentially take this. I don't particularly love taking a pitcher prop on the road, but sometimes it's so good you don't know. So let's look. Let's open up Schwarzenbach, look at his strikeout, see how he's been doing. And we see 5.5, not a bad number. He's averaging 8.6 in his last 10. He had 11 versus San Diego, which is amazing. San Diego is one of them teams that don't strike out often at all. Boston, 11. They strike out a lot. Not impressive, but hey, it's still 11. It's pretty good. San Fran, he had a weird game. Weird game indeed. He pitched 6 innings. He had a 9 strikeout, 9-inning complete game against Milwaukee randomly, and then 8 against the Mets. Dude is like quietly putting together one of those like super all-star seasons, like crazy with the strikeouts. So, and now we're sitting on is what, a 5.5 against the Mets? Why? Let's look at the matchup. Maybe they tee off on him historically. Let's look. Blackburn, which we never looked at. Let's go look at Blackburn real quick too. Or his earned runs. Let's just kind of peek at what he's been up to. Yeah, 3 average. He's either really bad or really good. That's what you get with him, good and bad. He's an elevator, up and down, baby. That's all we're doing. So consistency is not, he can't spell that. Ain't no chance, go away. So let's go back. Let's look at Schwarzenbach earned runs too, just because we're here. And we're getting nice odds too, good stuff. He's a little all over the place. Sometimes he's good, but he's a little more consistent than Blackburn. But for him, we don't care. We want strikeouts. That's where we're focusing our attention today. So matchup. Blackburn versus Braves history. We'll show that. Anybody pop off recently? Verdugo's got the double-digit at bats, 333, but it's not good enough. We want somebody like 400 with some actual juice, some data down here. He ain't got none, so nothing here for us. Righty versus Braves, there you go. Mets versus righties, there you go. Mets versus Schwarzenbach is Polar Bear got a 364, but nothing to show for it, especially with the OPS below 9. Wow. Nothing. We got a couple home runs, but that's it. There's nothing here. We got a Nemo is over 12. See, simple things like, and you look at the strikeout numbers over here. Look at some of these numbers are super high. I love that. Lindor's 0 for 9 against Schwellenbach. How the hell? Damn. All right, Schwellenbach, I see you. All right, dude's a beast. Dude's a beast. So he owns them, basically, to the point where you can take Atlanta money line. I'm going to take Schwellenbach strikeouts. I don't care. That is 105, 5.5. A dude doing those numbers. Sign me up. Hell, I might take both because we have Atlanta bat, we have Atlanta pitching. Yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do both. How the hell do I spell Schwellenbach? I always can never remember. SCHWELLEMBACH over 5.5 Ks. Absolutely taking that. We might even toss in a nice little money line parlay at the end just because why not? We'll try it out. There's only 9 games, so we'll get a money line parlay. We'll throw Atlanta in the first leg of it just because why the hell not? It's Monday. There ain't nothing going on, right? It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got shit to do. So we're going to bet on Atlanta. Money line. And we're going to throw in a parlay and see if we can add at least 2 more teams to that and get a nice little 3-leg money line parlay going. So Schwellenbach, K's next. All right, let's move on to game 3, which is going to be New York and Cincinnati. Interesting. All right, Yankees on the road, huh? 124 Yankees with a 10.5 total. 10.5. Why is it so high? Let me go back up to the weather. Cincinnati is winds blowing in at 4 with no rain, so I don't know why. That just tells me they think the pitchers are going to absolutely blow cheeks today. So let's see. Yeah, New York is all over the place. Sometimes, like they had one game where they popped off for 9 runs, but now they can't do much still. They're at 2.9, which is still last in the majors in the last 10 games. Last. 2.9, terrible. Their average is around 5, which is usually pretty good, but they're eventually going to pop again. They just haven't. They had one good game this weekend, which helped them go from 2-3 to 2-9. That's how bad they were. When you have a 3-game shutout streak where you have like, what was it, 30, it was 29 innings without a run or 31 innings, it's going to happen. So, yeah, clearly Cincy at home, 5-5, average across the board. They're just the Cincinnati mids. That's what they are. New York is Cincinnati below averages, even bad. Not, yeah. So we got it. Bats under potentially. Why is it 10.5? Why? I don't know, but I'm taking it based on these numbers. Let's see who's pitching. Goodbye, Spencer. We want this game now, and we load up Lodolo versus Alan Wayans. What? Who? Hold up. Wait a minute. We got to figure out who this is. So come with me. Come with me. Come with me. We're going to look at a picture. Alan Wayans. I'm going to call him Wayans because I said it. It's funny to me. So he has in his game, he pitched 2023 for Atlanta, 2024 for Atlanta. He has not pitched this season. That's not good. When he did pitch, he started 8 games in his career total. He is rocking. I want to see his game log. Show me your game. Nothing. We don't have game log for this year because you have no split split. It's your season debut, not your major league debut, but still. Man. Let's see. 15.26 ERA last year in 2 games. How many runs did you give up in 2 games? How many innings did you pitch in 2 games? That's a question. You pitched 7 innings in 2 games and gave up 13 earned runs. That's why the over is 10.5. That is why. That is absolutely why. Oh my God. Bruh. Okay, yeah, we're fading the Yankees. Yankees struggling to hit, and they're putting a fan out there basically. What is this? You better off putting a position player. Put Goldschmidt out there. I bet he could throw better. Pretty sure he could, because those numbers are. Who are you? What are your? I need to see your mind. You must have a mate. You must have been doing pretty good in the minors this year, because last year, 2 games, you came up and probably went right back down. They're like, whoa, you ain't ready for the big leagues, buddy. Oh, man, I don't know. Props. Let's go. Why does he have a prop line for strikeouts at 4.5, though? That's a little concerning to me. I'm a little scared of that. So, Lodolo walks over. Yankees, 12th in walks. If you want to take that, we'll look at it. Sure. We got to look at Allen here. Mr. Allen. 0.22. Not enough. We want this 1.6 to be at least a 2.5 so we can at least have that cushion, and that's not enough. No, don't chase. No reason to chase. So let's go Lodolo versus Yankees historically, and Goldie has 2 home runs and 8 at-bats with a 500. Now, see, this is something we could potentially use here. It's not 10 plus at-bats, but it's 8, but he does have success. 2 home runs. He's 4 for 5. 2 of those 4 hits went really far. 1.8 OPS, good stuff. Bellinger's 444 and 9 at-bats. So we have a little bit of success. So that's why we think they over. So what they're thinking is basically, since he's going to tee off on this minor league dude, is what they're thinking. So since he's probably going to have like 5-6 runs, right? That's what we're thinking. So why would I ever just take the over? Let's look. Yankees versus lefties. Let's see. Goldie's 425 this season. Judge is only 356. Yeah, Goldie loves him some lefties. And Cincy versus righties, since he's been doing pretty good against righties, and then against Allen, he faced him before. Yeah, he gave up a couple home runs too. One day, Ellie's 2 for 2. Steer. You know what? Let's go over and look at this real quick. Let's pop this open. Pop this open. Let's look at the team totals. And I want to go. Let's see, game lines. No, I want team props. I want Cincy runs. What's the line for Cincy? Over under 4.5 is at 1.8. I can go over 4.5 at 118. Yeah, I'd rather take that. I don't care what the Yankees do. Yankees can have fun. They can tee off on this dude all they want. I want the Reds to. Am I on the Reds? Yeah, I'm on the Reds. I want the Reds to get 5 runs off of this Allen Winans dude, because if he's giving up 13 runs in 2 games, I wish I could see the 2 games he played in. That'd be nice. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take that most likely, but let's go finish over here. So that's that. You want to take this, have fun? No. You have fun with this. I'm going to trust the home team. I'm going to fade the hell out. Around here, we fade major league debuts. I guess season debuts too, especially if they're a minor leaguer who kind of isn't the best. So yeah, he plays with the Yankees, but man, you're on the road too. No, give me the Reds. Give me the Reds to get at least team total over 4.5 right here for -118. I'll take that. Next. Moving on, we got Seattle and Minnesota, and currently, where's it at? Seattle 120 on the road, 8.5 is our total spreadsheet. We see our numbers. Seattle just played a lovely series in Wrigley where it was super windy, so these numbers are a little inflated by the wind, but hey, guess what? Numbers are numbers. We follow them. So you have to hit the ball for the ball to go far, and they did that. 10 hits a game. It don't matter how windy or rainy or whatever it is, or altitude, you got to hit the ball. So good job. They're actually doing well. They're getting walks. They're not striking out. Seattle's playing great. They're 6-4 for a reason. Minnesota's 1-9 somehow in their last 10 with a 3-game losing streak. Come on, guys. Look at the numbers. Look at the odds. Seattle clearly. Minnesota's average. Seattle's great. Like, this is top 5. That means you're great. So you're one of the tops. Yeah. Let's look at the pitchers, and then we see today, men's Twins is going to be Odubel versus Ober. And we got Ober over hits allowed is hitting 4 out of 5 and 7 out of 10 on giving up at least 6 hits. We'll take a look at that. You're going to against Seattle, who, guess what? They're number 3 in hits at 10 a game. We just saw that. Interesting. So we could potentially look at that. He doesn't give up walks and he doesn't strike people out. Literally, he hasn't hit 6 strikeouts in 5 games. So, Mr. Odubel, you're averaging 6.6 hits on a 5-5 line. That's 1 over the number we look for. That's a 1.1 cushion. I like that. Seattle has all the numbers they need. Let's look at the matchup. If they have at least a successful day, yeah, Crawford's 364 and 11 at bats. We have not much data here. This could be any time in the past 6 years, so easily any of that. Seattle versus righties, there you go. They do pretty decently, pretty average. Minnesota versus left righties, and Minnesota versus nothing. There's a couple home runs, but not much. I think I feel good about Seattle over hits allowed because you're averaging 6.6. The only game you did go was Toronto, and you barely missed that. But you gave up 9 to Cincinnati last time, so 6 to Texas. Just get 6. I'm pretty sure you're going to pitch like 5, 6. How many 6, 7 innings? Yeah, you go 7 innings, you're easily going to go 6. But if you only go 4, it means you got rocked. So I will take it. I'm gonna take it. We're gonna go on batter over 5.5 hits allowed. I like hits allowed. It's a good prop. You have all the data you need. It makes sense. We'll take it. Next. Okay, and before we jump, let's look back. Okay, so we already have Atlanta in the thing. We have Yankees, Cincinnati. Do we think Cincinnati might join the team total? I think I could potentially put Cincy in there because I think their pitching is going to own, and I think they're going to rock the Yankees minor leaguers. So let's put Cincy in the money line. I could be wrong. Things happen. Now, this last game, Seattle, Minnesota, I do think Seattle's better at batting, clearly. I think they get to Ober based on the hits and the hits he's allowed. I didn't really look too much into Woo. Maybe. We'll come back. That's a maybe. We'll see if anything else looks good. I love Atlanta. I love Cincy for money lines. Let's keep moving on. Next is going to be Arizona and the White Sox. Arizona. Guess why not? I'm already looking at the numbers. You'll see them in a second. It's only 132. What do you know? 9 is our total. Those are numbers. There you go. 6-4. They gave Corbin and Marte, they gave them off yesterday, so they're nice and rested. They just had a nice journey to Chicago. They spent the weekend in Denver. It's good stuff. So let's pop to the props. We're obviously probably going Arizona here, especially at 134 on the money line. Absolutely. Like, what else will we take in this one? It's Rodriguez, who's gone over hits allowed, and Shane Smith, who walks everybody and their mama. So let's look at Arizona 17th walks. We really don't want to do that one. We will look at Rodriguez hits allowed, but you're going up against Chicago, who is 26 in hits, so not exactly what we want to see. So let me go ahead and just open Shane Smith too, so we can look at earned runs. Eduardo, what is you doing? You're getting up 6. You're averaging 6.4 on a 5.5. Not good enough to take it over. Not that I would, because Chicago is terrible at hits. What is your earned runs looking like? Oh, you've been pretty good recently. Yeah, that's not bad. That's good stuff. Dodgers got to. This is Dodgers. Makes sense. San Fran, not bad. Cincy, Seattle. Yeah. Eduardo's been pretty good at earned runs. We'll take him for sure. And then Shane Smith walks. Damn, dude. Is that a 5 spot? It is. 2.8 on 1.5. If Arizona was good at walks, we would care, but we don't care. Earned runs, there we go. 2.4. Yeah, Arizona money line for sure is going on here. Let's look at the matchups real quick just to be safe. Shane Smith, nothing ever. Arizona versus righties. There you go. Chicago versus lefties. There you go. Eduardo versus Chicago. Anybody good? Anybody good? 2 for 10, 1 for 5. Nope, nothing here. So yeah, I don't know why Arizona, like, look at the lines. Look at this. What do they know? Somebody knows something that we don't know, and I'm going to pay to find out what that information is, because on a neutral playing field, I mean, it's in Chicago, which might as well be neutral because they're not going to have that many fans. Arizona is going to just beat up on this team because Chicago's 2-8. They're not good at anything. There's nothing they're good at. Triples? Okay. Colorado leads the league in triples this year. That doesn't tell you much. So they're number 2. So, yeah, Arizona money line. AZML. We're going to throw Arizona in there for sure. ARZ or ARI, whatever. I'm going to call it ARZ. Looks better. I know it's ARI, but whatever. You know who it is. The Z makes it stand out. So we're going to take Arizona money line. Let's move on. Next. All right, moving on. Next game is going to be Pittsburgh and Milwaukee. Currently, where's Pittsburgh? There it is. Milwaukee is 190 at home with an 8.5 total. We look at this. We know Pittsburgh's bats are terrible. Milwaukee is the second best batting team on the land behind Tampa, who's number 1. I know this. So Milwaukee is nasty with the bats right now. Top 2 in day 2. So 7-3, 4-game streak. Pittsburgh, garbage in many things. They're bottom 5 in every category you care about. But they're only 11 strikeouts. At least they're doing something. They're terrible the rest of the way. So who's pitching today? Who's pitching? It's not Paul Skeens Day, is it? There's no chance. It would be... No, they'd be favored probably if it was Skeens. It's got to be... Well, who hell is it? It is Braxton Ashcraft. Who? Another name, another day, somebody random. Let's see who this is. Braxton. You have pitched in this season. It's a bullpen game. Okay. $154, 10 Ks. Okay, $154 is pretty good. Well, maybe. You are a bullpen guy. Let's take a look at your game log. Game log. What have you done this year? You pitched in this many games for the team this year. You 2-2, 3 down here in May. Last 2 games, earned runs 1-0, 1-0, 0-0, 0. Okay. So you get up 2 runs the entire season. Actually, you're not bad, but you're only going to pitch a couple innings, so it doesn't matter. Then the rest of the Pittsburgh bullpen comes in, which it's the Pittsburgh Pirates, and it's their bullpen. I don't anticipate them being good, so we're going to fade you. Sorry. So let's go over to the props. Let's look at Mr. Patrick. Patrick strikeouts, 5.5 going against Pittsburgh. We already saw Pittsburgh's pretty not bad at strikeouts. Statistically on the season, they're pretty high, especially on the road. But lately, they've been a little more disciplined. So if you want to take it, it's going to be a little bit of sweat probably, I think. And we might take it anyways because it's Monday. There's nothing to play. So Patrick, what's Milwaukee's money line? 190. I like that better than a strikeout prop for sure because look, he's barely hitting it. He's averaging 6.2 in the last 5 with only a 5.5. We want that 6.5 plus. We want that one cushion. That cushion is there. We need the cushion. Ain't got none. So Patrick, history versus Pirates, nothing. Pittsburgh versus righties, not bad. I mean, the green means there's better righties versus lefties. So Milwaukee versus righties, there you go. And Braxton Ashcraft. Who? We're going to fade the hell out of this dude. So I'm sorry. It's the bullpen. So, all right, what are we going to do in this one? Okay, so let's think about let's dissect this one. Milwaukee, clear advantage in bats. I mean, almost like a double-digit advantage. Like, yeah, clear. Pitching-wise, Pittsburgh's going bullpen. Milwaukee's going Patrick, who earned run-wise. Did we look at his earned runs? We did not. Let me show you his earned runs. He's been in all over the place. He's been great to Atlanta and Chicago kind of beat him up. So I would say he's 2.4. He's average. We'll call him average. So average pitching versus a Pittsburgh bullpen game, I still give that lean to Milwaukee every day of the week. So this is Milwaukee all day. I would be shocked if anything else happened. Milwaukee on the line is 190. They are going to go in the ye old money line parlay. Man, the parlay is growing. He's looking at grow. My baby, it's getting so big. 8.5. No. I think it's Monday. We're going to be a little more risky. We're going to take Milwaukee on the run line today, plus 105. We're going to go for it. We're going to roll them dice. MIL at home too. I love that at home. Milwaukee at home, 1.5 over Pittsburgh next. All right, moving on. Cubs, Cardinals, rivalry. Now, rivalry games get weird. You know this. Look at rivalry, any sport. You pick a rivalry game, weird things happen. Stats don't seem to matter that much, but we still look at them and see what we can do. So currently, where's that? Right here. Cardinals, it's a pick 'em. It's a pick 'em with a 9 total. Cool. We look at the spreadsheet, we see 2 offenses. We see a lot of mustard and ketchup, and that's a little bit too much. I don't see, what the relish? A little bit of relish here, a little bit of relish here. Ugh. Look at the Cubs. They are like the best Yerfy team. Yes, runs first inning. They're averaging 1 run per inning in the last 10. In the first inning. First inning, they're averaging a run. And they've hit the Yerfy or Nerfy 5 out of 10 times. Pick your poison. There you go. So you see how they do on the season. This is just for them, not the games they're in, where both teams are included. Just the Cubs themselves. Yeah, that's why I do it this way. You can't find that stat anywhere else. No other site has it. I broke it down like that on purpose so you can see how that stat works. So, because you can look everywhere, like you can Google like AI, what's the Nerfy in this game? It's always going to pull them versus their opponent into the same one. I didn't want that. I wanted to know exactly what the team itself was doing. Like the Cardinals are averaging only 0.4 runs in the first inning in the last 10 games. That's the stuff I want to do around here. Stuff that the other sites ain't doing. So you'll see, we got big plans in the future. Huge plans, massive. So props, pitching, who we got? Who we got going out here? Because Cardinals, we got Ben Brown versus Liberatore. And strikeouts, Liberatore's good. How are you seeing on strikeouts? You're both mid. Of course you are. Of course you are. You can't be bad at that. Shame. Ben Brown strikeouts, Liberatore strikeouts. I'm not touching either one really because they're both pretty good strikeouts. They're both average, they're both mid. We want bad teams batting strikeouts. Ben Brown hits allowed. Cardinals, how are you with hits? You're 18th in hits. Again, there's nothing here. I mean, I'll open this up and look at all these for you just because they're green and you might want to take it. I like some cushion. That's a 7 average on a 5.5. That is some cushion. That's nice cushion. Going against St. Louis, who is 8.4 in the last 10, which is 18th. 8.4 is a lot, and that's 18. Everyone's striking out a lot right now. That's what I'm seeing. So, maybe. Let's go Liberatore versus Cubs. Historically, anybody stand out? Nope. Lefties versus Chicago. St. Louis versus righties. Ben Brown versus Cardinals. They never faced him. That's good for the pitcher. I kind of, I usually wait to get like a top 10 before I take this, but he's got the line. 7, he's averaging 7, 5.5. That might work. And it's an EV play too. I might take this. He goes, especially if he can get like 6 innings for us, he might get 2. Man, he's doing this in 4 to 5 innings. In 5.1 innings, he's averaging 7 strikeouts. It's pretty damn good. All right, let's go for it. Let's say Ben Brown. Brown over 5.5 Ks. I'm down for it. Let's ride. That's it for this one. Next. All right, moving on. We got Boston and the Angels. Slight favorite to Boston on the road. 9 is our total. Look at our spreadsheet. We look over and my God, all the red. Like a crime scene. Oh, someone call CSI. Get Ice Cube in here. That is just, oof. That's a lot. Everything. If strikeouts are bad, this is what I want for strikeout props right there. Give me pictures. Tell me Crochet's pitching today. I have no clue who is supposed to find out. Because if he is, guess what? Guess what? We're taking it. Nope, it's Bueller versus JK. JK is not really a strikeout dude. We'll look at both of them because I really want to know. They're both 4.5, which I don't love. I don't love that. A 4 average on a 4.5, and you see dude can barely hit 2 sometimes. Get the hell off my screen. Actually, earn runs. Let's look at you. 4.6. Bueller, what the ew? Okay, the offenses are terrible. The pitching is terrible. So if we don't have a strikeout prop, we're gone. We're leaving this one. We're going to leave this right where it stands. You can stay. Sit. Good boy. We're moving on. Let's see. Strikeouts. 4.6 on a 4.5. Again, ew. They're combining for almost 8 runs between them as pitching, but then you got the bats here. They're combining for 6.7 runs in the last 10. Combining in the last 10 games. What the heck is even this? This is absolute grade A garbage. Ugh. All right, let's go look at matchups. Because I know some of you absolute degenerates might care about this because you're going to bet it regardless. JK versus Boston, nothing. Boston versus righties, there you go. Angels versus righties, there you go. And Bueller versus Angels. Damn, Angels kind of tee off on Bueller, don't he? 375 with a home run. Ho-Hop's got a home run. Hugh got 2 home runs in 4 bats, whoever the hell you are. Random people. Trout's got a home run and 5 at bats. Okay. Angels are at home. Okay. Hold up. Hold up. Bueller's terrible. JK is actually service. He's at 3-2. He's getting a little bit better. Do we dare take the Angels at home? I think we might. I think I've seen enough. We see the numbers. They're both bad. Actually, they're equally like Angels are actually, look at all the Angel logos. Well, there's some Boston ones too, but 22 versus 30 ribbies, 21 versus 30 hits, 24 versus 30 batting average. Damn, Boston's bad. How are you getting by with a .208 and a 7-3 record? Your pitching has been amazing, but guess what? You're throwing Bueller out there, who we saw is absolute garbage. We're gonna have fun today. I'm not gonna put him in the money line parlay. I'm going to take the Angels at home plus 1.5 at -156. Yep. Give me LAA. Oop, not LAL. This ain't football. LA plus 1.5. There we go. Why not? Let's take that next. All right, moving on to the last game on the day. We got Washington and San Diego. And currently, well, you can't see it. I mean, you can see it. There you go. It is San Diego 164 at home. 8 is our total. Makes sense. Washington bats are doing kind of good. They had that series with the Dodgers, and I told you, don't be surprised they get one. They got one. They covered the first one. They won the second one. They lost yesterday, but hey, whatever. Spreadsheet, we can see the numbers. They played pretty well against LA. So those are your numbers. I see 2 above average bats. That's what I'm saying. 2 and 8, yeah, whatever. 4 and 6, cool. 2 game winning streak. Top 4 in strikeouts. Neither team strikes out much. So let's pop over here to the pitchers. Let's see who's throwing the ball in this one. Last game, load them up, and we see is Kolek versus Mitchell Parker. Kolek strikeouts against Washington, who was 8th in walks. That could potentially be a play. Potentially, we have something. 3.6. That's a good average. That's a good one. Let's see if Kolek matches up with us. We might be able to take that. Ooh, 2.2 on a 1.5. Not the best, but he had one against the Dodgers. But other than that, did he get rocked by the Dodgers, or did he do good? Yeah, little column A, little column B. So walks, pitcher walks. That could potentially, we might be able to work with that. It might be something. Let's go look at the matchups. Kolek versus Washington. Historically, not much data. Righties versus Washington. There you go. San Diego versus lefties. Not the best. And Mitchell Parker versus San Diego. Anybody tee off on anybody? No. We didn't have really no tee offs today. Kind of weird. Whatever. Kolek walks could potentially be a play. Like if you want to take 2-2 over a 1.5, that's a 0.7 cushion. It's not the full 1 cushion we want. But he does. Washington is 5th. So all he needs is 2 for a 120. I think I might take this. I don't hate this. To the point I think, it's a little more riskier than we like to be, but you can see he does have potential. We look at the whole season, he's averaging 2.1. Not bad. He's only pitched, this is his whole season. He's gone over this line 7 out of 9 times. You know what? That's enough data for me for this one. I'm good. We're going to go Kolek over 1.1 BBs, walks. That would give us literally, I passed on the first game and played the rest of them. So 8 plays plus a money line parlay, which is Atlanta, Cincy, Arizona, Milwaukee. That's a nice little lineup, I think. Can't hate that. Could potentially add Milwaukee, Angels if you really want to juice it up. I think the Angels beat the Red Sox today. I think they do. Yeah, good stuff. Good things, good times all around. So yeah, let's go back to schedule. That was fun. So tomorrow's Tuesday in it, and then we're back to our normal, regularly scheduled programming, our normal 15 games. We got a bunch of pitchers need to be decided. We got Crochet tomorrow. We got Scooby tomorrow. We got Tosh Bradley tomorrow. We got some fun ones tomorrow. Good deal. So appreciate you being here. Drop a like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you're playing. Let me know if you have questions. Hell, ask whatever you want. Other than that, check out Outlier for the props. Check out the HQ for the sheets in the typed out list if you want that. Other than that, just drop, subscribe. We're almost at 20K. Love that. Appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday, for more MLB. Peace.